Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our show brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. Home or business, trust the team I use to take care of my home. Whether you need a one-time visit, monthly treatments, or preventative treatments, Southeast Termite and Pest Control will take care of you. Trust me, give a call to the Haynes family this week. Family-owned business for more than 40 years here in East Tennessee. Let me welcome in the next two panelists here. We have VFL quarterback Sterling Hinton, VFL offensive lineman Kyler Kerbyson right there. Gentlemen, thanks for being with us. Coming up, next segment, we're going to talk defense, Bob Shoop, the Magic Show. What's to blame with the Sinceri-like numbers? You won't believe the numbers. Butch Jones said yesterday that Cam Sutton and Alvin Kamara could have easily shut themselves down due to their injuries and focused on getting ready for the NFL, and he's right. Instead, both guys worked their way back. Truly amazing in Sutton's case with the injury he came back from. And they were back on the field for what was a 6-3 football team, now 7-3. But it's not like they were fighting their way back to be on a 9-0 team. Came back for a 6-3 team. They've been hurt. And these guys had already passed on the NFL to come back to Tennessee.
Wow.
Got hurt, still fought their way back. I'll start with our positive guys, Kyler and Sterling. Show some love to Alvin Kamara and Cam Sutton. That's the type of commitment to the team that I think earns you a spot in Vol lore forever.
Well, not only Vol lore, I mean, that type of leadership right there is what actually I think Tennessee has been missing for years. What these two gentlemen have done is going to be remembered and is going to be revered beyond their years because they're going to have a precedent set of what it takes to be winners. I mean, I remember when I was here in school, I had a guy, William Howard, got hurt every game, continued to play. You know, Harry Galbraith, broken arm, still playing, making big holes. That stuff stayed, and I think that carried on because I was around, and guys after me, to the Al Wilsons, to the Dave Liggins, and so on and so forth. So now these guys, Kamara and Sutton, they're doing something that's going to be carried on for another 10, 15 years, and it's going to be inside that locker room.
David Liggins is sitting over there thrilled to death that he was just put in the same category with Al Wilson. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Kyler, your thoughts on these guys coming back? I mean, every weekend they bring the Vol legends back, and some get more of a welcome than others. I mean, all these guys gave their bodies and souls and everything for UT, but some guys who did stuff like this, they get a little bit more of the applause. I think it's pretty impressive what your former teammates are doing over there.
Yeah, I mean, it shows a lot of heart out of them, and I'm really impressed with what they did. And I knew that they would try and come back. I mean, them being on the team with their guys and contributing on the field is more important than having that 9-0 record to them and, you know, being, you know, the best at what they did and stats and going to the NFL. They want to be with their teammates. That's what really matters to them. And it really showed with how they came back.
Let me flip it here and I'll start with my media guys. All right, talk about somebody else on the team. Derek Barnett. Let me show you some numbers here on Mr. Barnett. Here is 2016 stats. 10 sacks, 8 quarterback hurries, 2 forced fumbles, an interception, 2 pass breakups, 3 passes defended. Yesterday, he ran down Boom Williams 40 yards downfield. And his 30 career sacks are just 2 behind Reggie White. Reggie White did it in 4 years. Barnett's doing it in 3. And more incredibly, with all the injuries, opposing offenses know there's one guy we got to account for this guy. We got to account for. Don't let Derek Barnett beat you. Mm-hmm. Week in, week out, he does. It's unbelievable. Mike and Chuck, I'll start with you. Are people marveling enough at what he's doing right now? Are we appreciating what kind of talent we are witnessing?
Probably not, because he had 1 sack yesterday, and that's when his name really gets called. He's out there working his tail off, giving it everything, and most of the time he's not getting to the quarterback because they got 2 guys on him or whatever. So his name's not getting called enough unless you really watch him, what he's doing every play. So no, to do what he does and only have that reward of getting to a sack maybe once, maybe twice a game, it's amazing, and people don't appreciate it enough.
No, and I think people should just watch Derek Barnett. I mean, when Tennessee's defense is on the field, just watch what he does. Watch how he fights through the double teams. Watch how he makes the tackle downfield. And then I think you will appreciate it. I know Corey Verrain appreciated it because he got a couple of sacks, mainly because in large part because Barnett was being double teamed.
Yep.
Guys, very quickly, I'll ask my players this. Well, I know what you're going to say, but it's okay. You're going to agree with me. I think when you look at the injuries along Tennessee's defense, and you consider what the load he's had to carry, the stats he's put up, I think he should be in the running for the Outland Trophy this year.
No question. No question. Absolutely. I think that'd be a smart thing to do for anybody that's in control of that vote.
Well,
get him in.
I think he's got the career numbers. I don't know if the numbers for this season would necessarily stack up with some of the top candidates, but I appreciate your comment.
Well, I'm glad you appreciate my comment, but here's what that's what I really come here on Sunday morning for. But go ahead, Kyler.
Well, I always looked at the Outland Trophy for offensive linemen, so I'm a little biased there. I don't want it to go to a defensive lineman, but him leading the SEC in sacks, him having that career that he's had, and he's still got 2 more games to play where he could break Reggie White's record, a college football Hall of Famer, an NFL Hall of Famer. Why would you not put him in the running?
Well, see, I just put him in the running. And again, you're leading the SEC in sacks. But here's the thing. You're doing it when everyone knows you're the guy to stop.
Yeah.
Some of these other guys that are in the running, they're on a team where they haven't had 56 guys carted off. So I think that's part of it. But anyway, just throwing that out there. Next. Next, Bob Shoop's magic show. Where does the blame lie with this defense, which has now reached the Sinceri depths? Which, if you look at like an ocean chart, that's down there somewhere near the Mariana Trench. It's the Sinceri Gulf. We'll talk about the defense. Is it injuries? Is it scheme? Come on back on the Sports Source. It's not Mariana.